All right, guys, what is up? This is Fobs. Welcome to 40 Casuals. My name is Fobs, and I'm with your co-host Ed. We are breaking down the last card of the year, UFC 296. How are you doing today, Ed?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm very excited to break down this card. It's looking like one of the best ones of the year. Sad that we lost Luque and Gary, but I think the UFC should have Holland step in on short notice to have that fight. I think it'd be entertaining and the fans wouldn't complain. And I'm just excited and ready to break down all these fights.
Yeah, absolutely. We also lost Randy Brown against Salikov, so that's also off of the card. But this one should be good, especially after the wild press conference that we had just now. It was crazy. It was insane, but you know, it is what it is. It's a Colby Covington special, a classic press conference. So I'm really excited about this card. But yeah, we can go ahead and take it away. Uh, First fight of the night, two heavyweights, Martin Bidet against Shamil Gassiev. I'm gonna go ahead and break this one down for us. I'm not really too keen or too excited for this fight. I do like Shamil Gassiev here. He has a good wrestling. He mixes his strikes well. Martin Bidet, kind of like just a one-trick pony. He just probably has really good strikes. But Shamil, I really like him because he can wrestle. But the big worrisome for me is the gas tank. But I feel like he should take. He can probably drag Martin down and submit him. So I'm gonna take Shamil here as my first fight. I don't know if I'm willing to bet him right now. I'll have to see what the odds are looking like, but I really do like Shamil here, like I said, to wrestle Martin Bidet and quite possibly get the submission. What do you think?
Yeah, so basically, like you said, this is a heavyweight fight. Martin Bidet, he's all right in a 12 fight win streak. He came off the contender series. He looks like he's a powerful striker. He has heavy hands, and 11 of his wins have been stoppages. He throws everything with bad intention and also has some good volume. The problem with him for me is he can be a slow starter, and he also leaves his hands kind of low that leaves him open for strikes. And Shamil, like you said, I like that he can include the wrestling. He's a large Dagestan. I mean, he's a powerful striker. He's going to march forward. He'll even throw spinning attacks when he's fighting. He has some wrestling, but the only problem I have with him is he can get taken down a lot. But I agree with you. I think Shamil should be able to win this fight because he can mix it up in different ways. So I'm going to ride with him, but I don't know if I'm willing to lay down any money on heavyweights, especially the first fight of a stacked card, especially because I don't know how this fight could go either way. So I think I'll keep my money in my wallet, but I think Shamil should be able to take this fight.
Absolutely, absolutely. Next fight we have Andre Fili against Lucas Almeida. I've been seeing a lot of people on Lucas Almeida in this fight, and against Andre Fili. I do like Andre Fili. He's supposed to, see my problem with Andre is that these are the type of guys that he should be able to beat easily and he should be able to dominate. But when it comes to time to dominate, he doesn't do that, and that's a big problem for me. Andre, like I said, I would say he's pretty good all around. He's a pretty good striker. Wrestling is okay. I wouldn't say it's the best. And then we have someone in Lucas Almeida who's coming in at 14-2. The reach isn't on Andre. If Andre can keep the distance, I think he can distant fight this fight or this bout. So I think I'm just gonna pick Andre for this one. I think he does get it done. Not too confident on this pick, but I do like Andre here. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, like you said, Andre Fili, he's coming off that decision loss to the prospect Nathaniel Woods. He's a pretty all right wrestler, great striker. He's very well rounded, like you said. The problem with him is he gets hit way too much and relies on his chin. And I kind of don't like that about him. Almeida, he's coming off that submission loss to Pat Sabatini. He's a powerful striker. He's going to come forward. And once he gets his opponent hurt, he's not afraid to go for the finish or anything. I think this is going to be a striking match between these guys, and I think one of these guys will probably put out. For the pick, I'm going to pick Lucas Almeida winning this fight, but If I were to put a bet, I would probably put, let's see, what is it for fight does not go the distance? Minus 185, fight won't go the distance. I mean, I wouldn't mind putting that in a parlay or something, but I think Luis Almeida for the pick. I mean,
Awesome.
Lucas Almeida.
Yeah, absolutely. You could go ahead and break down the next fight for us.
Okay, so our next fight is it Tyga or how you
Tagir,
say
I
her
think.
name?
Tagir.
Tagir versus Cody Dern. Tagir, he's 4-1 in his previous last five fights. He's coming off a round one sub against Nate Madness. He's a wrestler. He's gonna come forward. He's constantly gonna shoot. His striking is decent, but he uses it just to kind of get takedowns. All three of his wins in the UFC were grapple heavy. His takedown defense isn't that good. And Cody Dern, he's fighting a four-fight win streak. The thing I like about him is he's a wrestler. He's gonna come forward. He's gonna throw power shots and then go for the take egg down. He's nonstop. And but the only problem with him is his control on the ground isn't the best. But I know what you're gonna get out of him. He's gonna come forward and he's gonna chain wrestle and constantly put the pressure. And I think to gear, if Cody Dern sticks to that game plan and constantly shoots and goes for the takedowns, I think he'll be able to win this fight. And I got Cody Dern winning this fight.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna agree with you on this one. It's a lot of dogs in this card that I really like, and Cody Durden is one of them as well. Like you said, he's gonna come bring the pressure. I think he had a terrific outing against Jake Hadley, I believe is who he fought, and I actually had Hadley on that side, but ended up losing money on that. And he controlled him. He looked really good all around, and I think Cody is. I think Cody should be fine here at plus 140. Give me Cody all day. And I might even add. I'm not gonna talk about the later fights. I'll just say what I'm gonna say after. But I do like Cody here with the pressure. Like you said, he can probably take him down, get some control time, stand back up, point fight. I think he covers all around. I'm not really too sold on Tagir. Honestly, I think he might be a little bit of a fraud if I'm being honest, but I like Cody here, and as a dog, of course, I'm gonna take Cody.
Yeah, especially because Cody, whenever he's a dog, I think that's when he performs his best. And not only that, to Gear, when he had that loss against Tim Elliott, it was basically went that way. Tim Elliott went forward, was able to wrestle him down and get the decision win over him. So I think Cody Dern can possibly do the same thing. And if he takes that Tim Elliott game plan, he can definitely win this fight. And for him being a dog, I think there's a lot of fighters on this that are dogs that could go either way. So I like Cody Dern.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, we have another fight. It's I would say it's a striker's delight. Alonso Manyfield against Dustin Jacoby. I could break this one down for us. The fight is pretty simple, guys. If Alonso Manyfield, puts on the pressure against Dustin Jacoby and swamps him with his striking, swamps him with everything that he's got. He's a big, big physical athlete. I think he can put Dustin Jacoby away. Now, if he doesn't do that and he just pretends to, just point fight with Dustin Jacoby, then Dustin Jacoby wins a boring decision. Alonzo Manyfield is at plus 220 right now, and Dustin Jacoby's at minus 275. Honestly, I don't want to bet any of these guys. I would probably just say fight doesn't go the distance is at minus 150. I'd probably take that. I guess for pick's sake, I would go with Dustin Jacoby if he implements his game plan and just goes in and out. But I wouldn't be surprised if Alonso Manyfield will take this one if he rushes in and gets him out of there. What do you think?
Yeah. Looking at this fight, obviously Alonzo Menifield, he's a powerful striker. He's not very technical. He's gonna throw everything, even the kitchen sink at you. He's gonna come forward. He's very big, strong, and athletic. And we all know who Justin Jacoby is. He's a former kickboxer. He's a high-level kickboxer. He has very clean technique. And just looking at this fight, I won't make the same mistake again. I thought the same thing about in Chukway. I thought he could come forward and blast Dustin Jacoby out there, and that's not what happened. Dustin Jacoby sparked him and got him out of there. And I won't make that mistake this time. I'm gonna pick Dustin Jacoby to win this fight, especially if Alonzo Menifield comes in there. Like I said, don't get into a kickboxing fight with a kickboxer. So I like Dustin Jacoby in this one.
Awesome, awesome, and I'm so sorry, guys. I was going through the order how Bovada has it, and I didn't realize that's not the order, so we
Yeah,
skipped a
I was
couple
looking at that.
fights.
I was like, I thought Casey O'Neill
Yeah,
and
my bad about that. But yeah, so I'll just go through the women's flyweight. Casey O'Neill against Ariana Lipski. What do you have on this one?
okay, so just looking at it, Casey O'Neill, her last fight was a loss to Jennifer Maia. She's a Muay Thai striker. She started her rest. She looks good wrestling at times. She has great volume. But the only problem is she gives up a lot of strikes. And Lipski, her last fight was a split decision loss to Melissa Gatto. She's a decent striker. She can grapple at times, but if she's taken down or held against the fence, she can get bullied. But she has shown improvement in her last couple of fights. She's been able to defend 19 takedowns in her last two fights. But just looking at it, I think Casey O'Neill will be able to get this one done. So I have her as my pick.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I think if Casey can, just basically make this a kickboxing match or make this just a standing and striking match, I think she wins this one. And obviously, also if she mixes or tries to mix in the takedowns, I know, like you said, Ariana is very good with the takedown defense now, but I think she's gonna be the bigger woman in this fight. And she might hold her up against the clinch and maybe land some powerful knees to the body. I think Casey should be fine here. It should be a good match, to be honest. They're both pretty even, I would say, but I think it comes down to who implements their game plan, and I think Casey O'Neill would have the better game plan than Ariana Lipski. So I'm gonna agree with you, and I'm gonna pick Casey O'Neill in this one. I'm not looking to bet this one. I'm not too keen about women's MMA has burned me a lot of times, so I'm not gonna bet on women's MMA anymore because anything can happen. I've learned that, so I'm not gonna bet on that. So, but yeah, we can go ahead and go to the next fight: Cody Garbrandt against Brian Keller or Kelleher, however you say his name. I can go with this one. Honestly, we don't know which version of Cody Garbrandt we're gonna get. We could get the very gun shy Cody Garbrandt that fought Trevin Jones last time, and Brian Kelleher. Sorry, I believe he's coming off of a neck injury or neck surgery, one of those. And I think Cody should be able to get him out of there. Honestly, yeah, Cody hits hard if he commits to his power, and I don't think Brian Kelleher has any game plan to beat him. If I'm being honest, but we never know because Cody no chin, Garbrandt has no chin, like you said, and yeah. What do you think about this?
Okay, so finally, Cody Garbrandt's making a return. He was supposed to fight a couple of times, but injuries and stuff got in the way. Obviously, he's 2-3 in his last five fights. It's been an up and down last couple of years for him. His last fight was a unanimous decision win against Trevor Jones, and I thought he looked good in that fight until the third round, where he got caught for the one time in the fight he gets hit and he looked so scared to death. I don't know if he was rocked or what, but he looked like he was gonna get out of there, and it was just the one little time he got hit. So it's kind of hard, especially because of he was special when until he wasn't a former champ. He looked like a world beater against Dominic Cruz. We know he has clean boxing, wrestling credentials, great footwork. Like you said, the problem is he has no chin, and whenever he gets emotional, he can drag into a brawl. And if he gets caught, we see that he gets the light put out. And Brian Kelleher, he's also 2-3 in his last five fights. He's coming off a loss against Mario Batista. But the thing about him, he has clean boxing with decent power and good grappling, and he'll set a pace. If he sees that he has his opponent hurt, he'll chase a finish. I think this is a very fun fight. The new UFC matchmaker, the one that won the sweepstake, made this fight.
Joe.
I think this was a good, yeah. So I think this was a good one. The thing is, I think Cody's gonna win this fight. I think he's the overall better fighter. He'll have more power, better footwork, and better skills. So I have Cody as my pick. The only thing is, I don't think I would trust him with my money because the problem is, if he gets touched, we know that he's gonna go to sleep. And
Mm-hmm.
Brian, I feel like, is going to have no problem at trying to get in his face and get that finish. But I think Cody Garbrandt should be able to win this fight, especially if we get somewhat of a decent comeback from them.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving forward, we'd have another women's bantamweight or another women's fight, women's bantamweight. Irene Aldana against Carol Rosa. I can break this one down for us. I think Irene can win. I think Irene wins this one, honestly. I think she has the better camp. She's been training with Alexa Grasso. She has good boxing, good stand up. Jiu-jitsu coach is Diego Lopez, so I think her jiu-jitsu should be fine. She should be able to stuff the takedowns. My only problem with Irene Aldana is, do I really want to bet Irene to finish the fight or to KO her? She's notoriously known to not put people away, so that's my only concern with her. Or else I would bet her by, Irene Aldana by KO plus 450. I think she could take Carol Rosa away if she just put or applied the pressure on her with her boxing, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Either way, I think Irene Aldana should be clear of this. What do you think?
Okay, yeah, on this fight, it's crazy to me how Aldana went from headlining a UFC pay-per-view against Amanda Nunes to now back on the prelims, but life comes at you fast. She's a very technical boxer. She has tons of power. She sets a nice pace, and she also has pretty good takedown defense. She's really big, strong, and dangerous, so I think she should be fine in this fight. The only thing I would worry about is if Rosa comes in and puts a pace on her and gets in her face and come forward. But I think Aldana should be able to win. She's more powerful, and I think she'll be able to handle that pressure from her. So I have her winning this fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving forward to the main card. This was going to be Vicente Luque against Ian Gary, but Ian Gary pulled out due to cookness, so we are skipping that fight. It is canceled. We have Josh Emmett against Bryce Mitchell coming in short notice for Giga Chikese. I can break this one down for us. Josh Emmett is 39 or 38, about to be 39, I believe. Bryce Mitchell, 29, coming in short notice. That is a concern, but I think Bryce Mitchell should be fine here. Josh Emmett I think he's a little bit one trick pony. He only has great power, and that's about it. Bryce Mitchell, people give him a lot of shit because they say he doesn't look like a very physical, strong UFC fighter, but may I remind you, I think he's the only person to take down, what's his name, Ilya Taporia, even though Ilya starched him. But I think Bryce Mitchell can take down Josh Emmett and probably honestly submit him. His jiu-jitsu I would say Bryce Mitchell's jiu-jitsu is good. I wouldn't say it's the best of the best. It's good. It's good enough to take out Josh Emmett. He should be fine here. He should be able to take him down, hold him against his will, maybe land some ground and pound, and maybe Bryce Mitchell should win this one. What do you think?
Yeah, so looking at this fight, obviously Josh Emmett 3-2 in his last fight. He's on a two-fight losing streak, and his last fight was against Ilya, where he was completely dominated. The thing about Emmett is he was a wrestler for his entire life until he became a fighter, figured out he had some power like some wrestlers do, and then just starts throwing bombs. He doesn't use his wrestling at all. He has speed and power, but the thing I don't like about him is that he'll sit on it and he won't throw.
Mm-hmm.
But he is a dog. We saw that in his last fight. With Mitchell, he's coming off that decision win against Dan Ige. And the thing I like about Mitchell is he's a dominant wrestler and he sticks to the game plan. He'll constantly shoot. He has great scrambles and he'll control it on the ground. The pick is Bryce Mitchell because I can trust Bryce. I can trust that he's going to go in there and constantly shoot, shoot, shoot the entire fight. And I think he will be able to take Josh Emmett down. So either he could win a decision or even get him out by sub, especially like you said, Josh Emmett is 38. And he has been shown that he can get taken down too. So I like Bryce Mitchell in this fight, especially I don't like short notice fights for some people. Shout out to him for taking this fight on short notice. Love that. Love the camo shorts. And I think Bryce Mitchell gets this one done.
Bryce Mitchell by Jesus Christ is my official pick on this one. Next fight we have a treat. Tony Ferguson against Paddy Pimblett. You can go ahead and break this one down for us first.
Oh, here we go again. As GTA, I think San Andreas said. Um, Tony, oh Tony. Okay, we're back here. We're currently on a six-fight losing streak. We know who Tony is. He's a legend of the sport. We're all thankful for everything he's done. He's very unorthodox. He's a dangerous striker, slick submission, and has some wrestling credentials. The only thing is, he's 40 years old now. He's been training with David Goggins. I don't know how that's been. I don't know if that's helped. I guess he wanted to go to a dark place to prove that he can get through adversity, I guess. We know Patty. He's coming back after that long layoff. He's on a six-fight winning streak, even though we can all agree he lost that Gordon fight. Like, he did not win that.
Mm-hmm.
He's a prospect. He's pretty well rounded. The thing about him is he's very hittable. He leaves his chin up in the air and he can get caught. He has decent striking offense. He throws a lot of volume and he is kind of slick on the grappling sometimes. We've seen that he can get taken down. Uh, uh, the pick is going to be Patty Pimblett. As much as I don't want to say this, I just don't know if I can trust Tony anymore. Like, I see the little spurts of him again, but every time I get my hopes up, he always lets it down. And I, the pick is Patty. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Tony goes out there and starches him, and we can all celebrate. Um, for betting purposes, I might sprinkle a little parlay or a little thing on Tony just because, that's my guy. And if he wins, I'll be happy. But for pick purposes, Patty, it's going to be Patty.
Yeah, I think you nailed it on the head. I think Tony Ferguson is way past his prime, even though he says he's still getting in his prime. He's 40 years old. He looks geriatric. He looks like shit. He's pretty slow. Patty is the younger fighter. Like you said, pick wise, Patty. But for me, I think I'm gonna take a shot at Tony by KO at plus 600. The only way Tony wins this one, because I mean, the last thing that goes away from you is your power. Everything else goes away, and Patty Pimblett's chin is up there. It is up there, and I can't wait till someone just cracks it. And Tony Ferguson just needs one shot. Honestly, I mean, he looked good in he well I wouldn't say he looked good, but he looked all right in the Bobby Green fight. And I mean, it's Bobby Green. No one can really hit Bobby Green. That's the thing. And he did hit him. Patty Pimblett does not move like Tony Green. Tony Green moves like Tony. Not Tony Green. Sorry, like King Green. Sorry, I fucked up that one. But like King Green, he does not move like King Green. King Green is very, very, very slick. He's got that Philly shell, but Patty Pimblett is not that. He's very stiff, leaves the chin up in the air, and Tony Ferguson can just. He only needs one to crack it, and I think he still has the power. I mean, he's shown the power. It doesn't really, like I said, the power doesn't really go away. Pick wise, Patty Pimblett. I'm gonna take a stab at Tony Ferguson by KO plus 600. That is his only way to win this fight. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so. I think Tony doesn't look like what he used to on the ground anymore. I think
Mm-hmm.
a KO would probably be the only thing. But let's all agree if Patty does win this fight, let's feed him to King Green and let's have that as a fight night main event or something, or somewhere on a pay per view because I think that would be an enjoyable fight. I think King Green destroys him,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll let that Cage Warriors bum get a little bit of time in the spotlight until we bring him down.
I think, to be honest, I think if Patty wins and Jim Miller doesn't get hurt in January, I think they run Patty Pimblett against Jim Miller at UFC 300.
I could see that.
Yeah, Jim Miller was at UFC 100, was at UFC 200. I think it was UFC BT, which is like the British one. Uh, like one of the interviewers asked Dana to have Jim Miller at 300, and he said, "Yeah, I'll make that a deal. You got it. It's a deal. It's a done deal. If Jim Miller doesn't get badly hurt in his January fight, so if he wins, I think they're gonna feed him to Patty. And honestly, I think Jim Miller beats Patty. Honestly, and I will be betting heavily on Jim Miller at UFC 300 against Patty Pimblett. And if it does, if that fight does get announced, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm just gonna say that you're welcome. But yeah, we are moving forward. We have Shavkat Rakhmonov against Steven Wonder Grandpa Thompson. Release to Shavkat is all I'm gonna say. I think Shavkat wins this one. He's gonna take him down. Steven is not known for his wrestling. He's a striker. He's a karate master. He's a kickboxer. Whatever you want to say, he's the best striker there is in the division. I think Shafkat is gonna. It's basically gonna look like the Neil fight. He's gonna submit him. Shafkat by submission is at plus 120. That's a good stab. Shafkat inside the distance at minus 185. That's a steal right there. I think Shafkat wins this one. I think he's gonna dominate. He's gonna look really good, and we might be seeing the next contender for the belt. And fuck that guy. I can't even remember his name, but I think Shafkat's next for the belt. What do you think?
Okay, so what I gotta say about this fight? Obviously, if you don't know, you better know who Shavkat Rakhmonov is. 17-0, one of the deadliest, most exciting prospect contenders, whatever you want to call him, coming up. I don't even care that he doesn't speak English. Dude is just a terror when you look at him. 17-0, all of those have been finishes, and he's taking on an absolute legend of the game. Someone I enjoy watching his fights, and almost everyone does. Steven, not so much of a boy. Thompson, we all know Wonder Boy. He had that amazing fight with Kevin Holland. His last fight, it was an amazing war. Um, I My pick is Shafkat. I think Shafkat will win this fight as long as he doesn't try and stand with Wonder Boy. If he takes him down, yeah, Shavkat submits him easily. We could get him out of there in the first round. I think Shavkat could catch him on the feet, but I say don't put yourself in that situation because there was moments in that Jeff Neal fight where he was getting rocked,
Mm-hmm.
and if you stand in front of Wonder Boy and let him throw something, I think Wonder Boy could catch him and possibly put him out of there. So I got Shavkat as my pick. But if you see the fight is staying on the feet and he's not shooting, I wouldn't mind throwing a live bet on Wonder Boy. So Shavkat's going to be the pick. But if the fight stays standing and you see Wonder Boy land a couple good shots, that might be something a live bet might be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. And even if you want to take a stab at One Boy Thompson, the only way you do it, you bet his by KO. It's at plus 1200. That's a good stab. You put $10 on that, you're winning 120 bucks. Like that is a pretty good stab to do. I don't advise it, of course, but if you're crazy enough to be like, oh yeah, I think Thompson can catch him with a whatever, with a kick or whatever you want to say, a head kick or whatever. Um, Thompson by KO 12 plus 1200. That I feel like that's good value in that. But yeah, so moving forward, we have the co-main event. I don't think people are that excited about this co-main event. I am. We have Alexander the Cannibal Pantoja against Brandon Raw Dog Royval. Pretty simple. I think Pantoja dominates everywhere. He's the better fighter. I like Pantoja inside the distance at minus 135. I think that's a good bet. Pantoja by a submission. He's already submitted this guy once, so he has 5 rounds to do it. Pantoja by submission plus 130. And even just take a stab at Pantoja round 2, round 3, round 4. Round 2 plus 600, round 3 plus 850, and round 4 plus 1,000. I think he gets him out of there. I think he wins this one pretty convincingly, and I think like I said, he's a better grappler. He's got power in his hands, and I don't think there's any answers for Royval. I think he was just kind of gifted this opportunity. But yeah, what do you think?
Okay, so I'm very excited for this fight. This is probably one of my favorite fights that I think I could think of. It deserves a lot more than some people are giving it credit for, but obviously we know who Pantoja is. He had that amazing fight with Brandon Moreno. Some people say it was a robbery. I thought Pantoja won the fight. I don't know what y'all are watching, but I think he won the fight. The thing about him, he's a really fun fighter. He's gonna walk forward. He has good power. He's gonna give damage to his opponents. He has great grappling. He'll control, and he has a nice ground and pound. He's also very durable. We saw that in that last fight. He can take a hit, and the people who've beaten him have basically beat him by committing to the wrestling. And I don't think Royval is that guy. He's 3-2 in his previous fights, 5 fights. I think he got gifted this, like you said, because of his amazing first round finish in his last fight. He's a pretty exciting fighter. He's gonna look for the finish. He has good cardio. He'll set a pace. Solid grappler. Sometimes he'll try some sneaky submissions. Um, the pick is obviously Pantoja. He won the first matchup, so I don't see why he would have a problem in the second matchup. I know people evolve. I know it's not the same fighter as last time. I just think Pantoja is that good all around. He won a war against the former champ Brandon Moreno, and MMA math doesn't mean nothing, but he looked great in that fight, and I think he can do the same to Pantoja. I think he'll win this fight more convincingly or easier than that Moreno fight.
Exactly. I just think I hope he just toys with him so he can cash, Pantoja round 3 at what is that, plus 850, or even Pantoja round 4 plus 1,000. That'd be nice. But I'm betting him 2, 3, and 4. I believe. I don't think they see a fifth round. Honestly, I would be really surprised if they see a fourth round. And quite honestly, I think that he might even get him out of there in the first round. But 2, 3, and 4 would be a good stab for any of you guys that are looking to round bet. And now to the main event, we have Leon Rocky Edwards against Colby, the People's Champ, Covington, America's favorite fighter, Donald Trump's favorite fighter, whatever you want to call him. This is it, UFC 296 main event, last card of the year. Who do you have?
Okay, so we obviously know I love this fight. I think it's exciting. The people that are complaining that Covington shouldn't even have this fight, keep your opinions to yourself. I think this is a great matchup. We all know who Edwards is. He's been on an amazing win streak. Kind of padded if you ask me, but he's a great fighter. His striking is great. We all remember that amazing headshot against Usman, and he won the second fight against Usman, but I don't feel like it was the same Usman. I feel like he was kind of gun shy. Felt like that first fight got into his mindset, and he was able to pull off that win. We know who Covington is. I know he hasn't fought in a while. I know people are gonna say, okay, like he's a bum. He fought Tyrone Woodley, Robbie Lawler, Dos Anjos, but we got to look at it. Those guys were still good when Colby faced them. I understand they're not in the UFC anymore, but I feel like he's still a good fighter. Like people don't give him enough credit. I think this fight is going to be a good fight. My pick, aka alert lock of the week, is going to be Colby Covington. I think he's going to put the pressure on. I think he's going to stay in Leon's face. I don't think he's going to shy away like Usman did. And we all know what Colby does. He puts that pressure on and constantly wrestles. He throws strikes. He overwhelms his opponents with all that endurance and intensity. And he's from Miami. Those Miami mamacitas are there, so he'd be getting that bedroom cardio in with them. So I think Colby Covington wins this fight, and he's my lock of the week.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you nailed it. Edwards, Edwards. People think he's some knockout artist, but he goes to decision more often than not. I mean, his last KO before Kamaru Usman, before that Hail Mary, because let's just call it how it is. It was a Hail Mary. It wasn't like yes, he might have set it up, but it was a Hail Mary. He was gassed. He was done. You even heard it in the corner. He said, "Hey, don't show him you're tired." Blah blah blah. His last KO before that, I believe, was
It was in 2018.
2019. Yeah, or no, 2018, I believe,
2018. Yeah.
against Peter Sabota, who I don't even know who that guy is, to be honest. Uh, looks like a bum. But anywho, that was his last fight, or his last KO. I mean, and so yeah, he's not this great knockout artist that people are like, oh yeah, he's gonna knock him out. No. Colby Covington. What's different between Colby Covington and Kamaru Usman? Because they're gonna say, oh, but Kamaru Usman couldn't take him down. Blah blah blah. Colby Covington is really really good at sneaking in his takedowns. He chain wrestles. If he doesn't get the takedown, he'll go up top 1-2 and then try to take him down again. Kamaru Usman didn't really do that. He got kind of defeated once he couldn't take him down, and he just relied on his striking. And then he tried to go back to the takedown technique, but no, he couldn't do that because guess what? The difference between Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington is that Colby has this relentless pursuit to take you down, has this insane infinite gas tank. I think Colby takes this one, honestly. I'm going to go with you there. He is the lock of the week for both of us. I think Colby can, take him down, drag him to deeper waters. I don't see him knocking him out. No, I don't think so. Even though I do think Leon Edwards has a little bit of a sus chin, if I'm being honest. Um, but I think Colby Covington, this is a classic Colby Covington fight where he wins by decision and by, spamming the takedowns and getting like 1,500 takedowns on Leon Edwards. I just hope that the referees do their job and take away points for Edwards if he grabs the cage and grabs the glove because he is a notorious cheater as well. There's been many times where he's grabbed the cage against Kamaru Usman, grabbed the glove, and only I think a point was taken away. So I hope Herb Dean does his job and takes points away from him. But yeah, I think Colby should be fine here, and I think he's gonna drag him. And another thing to note, they're fighting in Vegas, which is not the same thing as Salt Lake. Salt Lake is like 4,000 feet above sea level, but Vegas is around 2,000, and I believe like what freaking Birmingham or UK is like 50 feet or 50 whatever above sea level. So
Yeah.
I think there is a factor in that. It's not going to be a major factor either. I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, it's 4,000 feet. Like this is it. He's going to gas. No, but if Kobe's going to be relentless, he might tire out at like the third or fourth, fifth round. Uh, and yeah, so I think Kobe Covington dominates this one and takes the decision and wins the belt. And the belt's coming back home to America.
I think so. I think it's going to be a great fight. I think the whole card is stacked from top to bottom. And I'm excited for the main event. I'm excited for a lot of these fights. I think Leon is a great competitor. I think he can win the fight, but my pick is Colby. I mean, Colby Covington. I think he's just going to put it on him. I don't think he's going to let up. And, he's hungry for that belt. He looks like he's ready, motivated. I mean, this could be his last opportunity, so I think he's going to go all out and leave it all in there and leave no stone unturned.
Yeah, and yes, the time away is kind of concerning, but I mean, he did the same thing between the Tyron Woodley fight and then the Kamaru Usman fight, and he looked good. Because you know what, I actually do believe when Kobe says that he does train and he doesn't go out, he doesn't drink. I do believe in that. Yeah, he might show like you know, a party image on Twitter or not Twitter. Yeah, on Twitter or Instagram, but I think that man's in the gym all the time and just training, and his whole purpose is to get that title. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this fight. Like you said, it's the last one of the year, last pay per view of the year, last UFC card of the year, and it should be a good one. But yeah, so I guess we can recap and go really fast on our picks. For the first one, I have Shamil. I believe Shamil Gassiev. You have Shamil as well. The second fight,
Yes.
I have Andre Fili. You have Lucas Almeida. Third fight,
Mm.
we both have Cody Durden. Fourth fight, we both have Dustin Jacoby. Fifth fight, we both have Casey O'Neill. Sixth fight, or however, sorry, I'm going again with the Bovada order.
Uh,
Cody Garbrandt against Brian Kelleher. We have Cody Garbrandt.
Cody.
We have Irene Aldana against Carol Rosa. We have Bryce Mitchell against Josh Emmett. We have Patty Pimblett in our picks. Not our bet, guys. This is completely different. In our picks, we have Patty Pimblett. We have Shavkat Rakhmonov against Steven Thompson. And Alexander Pantoja against Brandon Royval. We have Alexander Pantoja. And then we have Colby Covington in the main event.
I think those are all very solid picks. I think a lot of these fights could go either way. There's some close matchups. But I like our picks really.
Yeah, I think so too. I think there is a lot of plays to be played, guys. If you like I said, if you want to take a stab at Tony Ferguson by KO, that'd be great. If you want to take a stab at Steven Thompson by KO, because that's his only method of victory, that'd be great. But I guess I'll just name my parlay. I guess would be Colby Covington money line and Cody Durden, both Codys, I guess, money lines. That is plus 454 on Bovada. So if you put $100, you win $454. I think that's a pretty good parlay, to be honest. And both of those guys can win that. What do you think?
I think that's a good parlay. I think I have I'm gonna lay down a parlay on Pantoja, Shavkat Rachmanov, and I think I'm gonna put Bryce Mitchell on that one too.
Let's see. Yeah, plus 152. So if you bet 100, you get $152 back, and your initial 100, so 252. This is all Bovado odds, guys. You guys may have better odds somewhere else. Go ahead, go for it. But we're just using Bovado because that's the universal site that everyone can use, I would assume. Um, and yeah, I mean, like I said, this should be a good fight, guys. Once again, bet where you can lose, don't bet where you can't lose. And best of luck to anyone that's betting this Friday or this Saturday, excuse me. Should be a good fight. And tomorrow we have weigh-ins as well, and we have another press conference. Correct?
Yes, I think that's gonna be another exciting press conference as well.
Yeah, it won't be like today's, but it'll be up there for sure. But yeah,
And
go ahead.
And not only that, for anyone looking to bet, if you do have a problem or anything, it's okay to reach out. There's all types of resources. I know 1-800 Gambler is a hotline that's there 24 hours a day for anyone struggling with gambling addiction or anything. I know we tell you to lay your money down and stuff, but only lay down what you can lose, like Bob said. It's just for fun, and also why not make a little money on the side while you're enjoying it? But don't throw all your hard work and earnings away on something like this. Be responsible and everything, and 1-800 Gambler is there for you if you need it.
Yeah, absolutely. And love us or hate us, you can either tail us or you can even, fade us. So it's really up to you guys whether y'all are listening or not, or whether y'all are tailing or not. Like I said, tail us or fade us. I don't care. Up to you guys. These are our own picks or our own views on what we think is gonna happen. Of course, we don't get everything right all the time, but at least we try to make you guys be aware on some fights that you guys might not know, like the Shamil Gassiv, plus 115, pretty good price right there. If you're on the Lucas Almeida side, plus 145, you might not know those two people. It's just good opportunity for you guys to win some money, and of course we don't really get paid for this. We just do it for the fun of the sport, and because we love MMA and we love all UFC. So yeah.
And we appreciate anyone that tunes in, wants to discuss fights. DMs are always open on Twitter at FTC Ed, and also my boy FTC Fobs on Twitter. I was like, you can message us, engage with our tweets and everything, and we're just here to engage with the MMA community. We're huge fans. We love it with all our might. So we know there's people that feel the same, and I think this is a good platform to be able to show that love and meet tons of people and just enjoy doing what we care about.
Yeah, absolutely. So once again, guys, best of luck if you're betting. Happy holidays. Enjoy the card, and yeah, have a good one.
Peace out, guys.
Peace.